What's up guys, DJ P. here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to replace your RCA cables on the Technics 1200. Today we'll be using a Technics 1200 M3D, which is comparable to the MK5, but this works on the MK2 and the M5Gs as well. The walkthrough is pretty much the same, so let's get started. So first step is you're going to want to flip over your turntable. But when you flip it over, you don't want to have it just sitting on the table. So what I recommend is get a pillow or something soft to lay it on top of. And let me go grab that now. Let's lay a pillow down. Oh, and one more thing. Also, you're going to want to take off the platter off of the turntable. Now, sometimes this thing can stick. So what I recommend doing is just grabbing something like a screwdriver, just tap the spindle a couple times, it should pop right out, like so. Just put this aside. Also remember to take out the counterweight and any cartridge that might be connected. So let's go ahead and flip this guy over. You're going to want to go ahead and start removing all the screws, and also you want to start with removing all the feet. And then I usually start with the screws that are underneath the feet, and then I go around the edge and then take the screws that are in the platter. Okay, now that all the screws are removed, you can just gently take the rubber bottom off of the bottom of the turntable. Usually I try to pull from one of these holes. It should slide right off. Just kind of go around the edges a little bit. There we go. And just be careful not to catch any of these cables as you're pulling this off. Just store the bottom somewhere safe. Now we get to the next section. This is where the RCAs are coming out of. So, a couple more screws here. You have two for this clip that's holding the RCAs in place, and then two more screws holding this metal plate. So let's get those removed. Okay, now that the clip's removed, you can just go ahead and give this a slight tug, pull this plate away. Okay. Now we have the RCA, and here are the connectors. Actually, this one looks to be damaged a little bit. So you have your left side, positive and negative, and also your right side, positive and negative. So now let's go ahead and prep the RCA cable that we're going to use. Here's the RCA I chose, just the gauge, nice connectors. You're going to want to cut the ends off of one side. So you have the RCA cable. Then you're going to want to cut the shielding off so you can show the inner wire, also the ground around it. So as you can see, you're going to have the shielding around it and then the inner wire. So you're going to kind of want to pull all the shielding to one side. Like on this wire, it's actually twisted around the inner wire. And you're going to want to bundle this up. Just go ahead and twist it up. And then do that to both sides. Now you're going to want to go ahead and strip these inner wires. Be careful not to cut the actual wire inside as well. So as you can see, You have your separated inner wire on each side, and then the outer shielding around it. So now the next step would be to go ahead and heat up your soldering iron. Be very careful when soldering. You just kind of have to tap it against the connection. Okay, so now I have the wire loose. And let me get that new RCA cable. Also very important, remember which side's left and which side's right. Luckily these cables are colored. On the PCB board, you'll see left and right, positive and negatives. The inner wire goes on the positive, so let's start with the right one because that one's a little tougher. Okay, now here's the tip. Once you get this back installed, go grab the bottom, the base. Go ahead and run the cables through. And just in case something happened with your soldering, just go ahead and put the feet on. Flip this bad boy over and go test it out, especially with Serato retractor and DVS. So I'm going to go test this out and I'll be right back. Okay, everything seems to be working fine. I'm going to post some video of Serato working fine with this turntable after I finish screwing everything in. So last step is taking these feet off, putting all the screws back, and then DJing again. Alright guys, thank you.